would like to have his time incognito at this point.
All right, bowling's next over on ESPN2. Match play continues and then switches over to the ABC at 2 Eastern. I'm Bob.
I'm Trey. We'll see you later.
Bye.
The PBA Tour pays a visit to AMF Babylon Lanes in West Babylon, New York, on Long Island. It's the PBA Cambridge Credit Classic. Dave Ryan alongside Randy Peterson, joined by 4 of the world's best bowlers who are ready to roll.
Last Sunday, he wrote his name in the PBA history books by winning his first major at the U.S. Open. Today, he tries to become the first man in 15 years to follow a major title with the win. From Flower Mound, Texas, Chris Barnes.
The physical tools have never been in question. He jumped a giant mental hurdle last week, and now his confidence matches that talent.
From Malden, South Carolina, he has made 2 TV final appearances this season and has emerged victorious in both. Today he looks to go 3 for 3. Tommy Jones.
The flame-throwing 26-year-old has an enviable look on the scorpion pattern. He hopes his phenomenal ball reaction holds up as he looks for his 3rd win of the season.
The youngest bowler on the PBA Tour. Today he appears in his 2nd TV Finals and looks for his 1st career title. From Jonquière, Quebec, Canada, Patrick Girard.
No first show jitters to worry about for Patrick today. His only concern, a win and an exemption for next season.
A 2-time All-American at San Jose State University. He has finished 7th or better the past 4 tournaments, vaulting him to 17th on the PBA points list. From San Bruno, California, Tony Reyes.
4 weeks ago, Tony wondered whether or not he would have a job next year. He's now putting together the best season of his career.
These are your finalists for the PBA Cambridge Credit Classic.
The PBA Tour returns to Long Island for a 30th time, a 4th straight year, with it's a short drive, under an hour, to get to Manhattan. Randy, let's break down the matchups with today's brackets.
Semifinal number 1 pits Chris Barnes, fresh off his U.S. Open title, and Tommy Jones, who threw 43 strikes in 47 frames in his round of 8 match. In the 2nd semifinal, 2 bowlers looking for their first career titles as a 6-year PBA veteran, Tony Reyes, takes on a relative newcomer, Patrick Girard.
All right, Randy, let's start with Chris Barnes. Incredible excitement, thrilling action last week in New Jersey. Chris, how did you rebound so well, focus so well, to make the show again this week?
Well, I think it's easiest to keep a stone rolling when it's already going downhill. And, you know, we got a lot of momentum on our side, and, you know, the greatest thing is the feeling now is I feel like I get to win. So.
Good luck going for another one.
Thanks.
3-time winner on the tour this year. You told us last night Patrick Allen should be definitely the player of the year as of right now. Are you on the list as well?
Yeah, my name's in the hat. Chris Barnes' name's in the hat. Walter Ray, there's a few guys' names in the hat. But right now, Patrick's wearing the hat, so somehow we got to get the hat from him.
Good luck today. Randy, Chris Barnes trying to become the first bowler since 1990 to win a major, then follow it with a tour victory the next week.
Lots of money up for grabs, almost $250,000 total prize fund. $40,000 for first, $20,000 to the runner-up, and the all-important points. One person looking very closely at the points, Patrick Girard. Our other 3 finalists are pretty much locked for a tour exemption next year. Patrick Girard needs help. And what a way to help himself and help his own cause, but with a win today.
Tommy Jones gets us going on Long Island with a perfect shot. Different mode for Tommy Jones in terms of the approach to the pocket. Told us just moments ago. Not 100%. Confident, but he sure looked good in that first ball. Different angle, certainly for Barnes, going way outside in. And And he's got a good start. Leads us to the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup.
Yeah, fairly tight matchup. Chris Barnes, about a 3-pin a game higher average. Biggest difference, though, is the spare percentage. If it comes to that, I don't think it will.
As we mentioned, it's been a long time. 1990. The last time a PBA bowler won a major title and then followed up with a regular tour victory.
It's only happened 6 times in the history of the PBA Tour.
Including by you.
Thank you.
10-pin, Chris Barnes.
Spin biscuit.
He wants to roll it, not spin it. That spin is what made the ball hit real flat. 6-pin just laid in the gutter instead of kicking off the sidewall into the 10. Spare ball, plastic ball, cross lane, straight and hard.
Takes out the 10-pin, Wayne's on, Don Johnson, Earl Anthony, and Randy Peterson, the others, to win a major. Randy, that was your only win back at the PBA National. You'll want to win a tour victory the next week. How about Tommy Jones talking about red hot? Those numbers, Randy, are simply mind-boggling. 43 of 47 strikes.
Yeah, it's sick. He shot 4 spares. Danny Wiseman just put his hands up and said, "I surrender."
Perfect shot.
A familiar sight when you watch Tommy Jones on television playing the deep inside line. That's his A game, his bread and butter. The reason why is because of his high rev rate and his tremendous roll. He can get the ball to push right and get it to return and still get it to hit hard enough to carry all 10.
12-3 match play record for Tommy Jones getting here from the round of 32 on. 281.75 average in that Danny Wiseman round of 8 match. Unbelievable. Round of 16, as we saw, beat his buddy Michael Fagan, who's from Long Island. Jones stayed at Fagan's house this week. Wow. They were...
Oh, if that one would have got back, it'd have been game on.
Head-to-head, quite a confrontation while they were on the lanes, he and Michael Fagan, but afterwards, best friends again.
This ball did get back and almost struck. Again, for us mere mortals, for a guy like myself, that would have been a 2-8-10. Tommy Jones turns it into a swishing 7-pin.
Looks down at the footwork, but it's all right. Takes care of the 7-pin. From Mullen, South Carolina, near the Greenville, Spartanburg area. Not far from Clemson's campus, down in South Carolina. Back to Barnes, coming off the major victory. Look at him flirt with the channel, but he's still in the pocket. Busts down, 10 into the pit.
Let's take a look at these two styles. Tommy Jones first. Check out the power player here. Open hand. Look at him just uncoil at the bottom of the swing. Chris Barnes, a lot like Tommy Jones. Open hand, cupped wrist, a little bit bent elbow, uncoil at the bottom, creates a tremendous amount of forward roll and revolutions.
Not as much toward the channel, but still an effective ball. A little bit of adjustment there for Chris Barnes, but he still shreds the rack.
You see Tommy Jones playing in, Chris Barnes not playing in, playing that extreme outside line right around the third board, keeping his hand underneath it and rolling it. Keeping your hand underneath the ball will control change of direction down the lane.
The 2002 PBA Rookie of the Year. Jones back up. And again, lost strike. Perfect shot from Tommy Jones, who does have a chance to become the first 3-time winner on tour this year. Look at the numbers. Skyrocket. Round of 8. Unbelievable. We mentioned 281.75 against Danny Wiseman. And we talked to Tommy last night about it and said just kind of that focused thing in the zone and everything coming off your hand feels perfect.
The thing about it was he was playing the line that Chris Barnes is playing now. Something you rarely see Tommy do.
It's in. Goes down late.
Watch the 6-pin. Second to the right, going to the wall. Sidewall does its bits on the 10.
Double for Jones, 4th and 5th frames for him. Barnes works on a strike, chance to take a 1-pin lead. 5th frame. Again, way to the outside, and there she goes. Back to the pocket on the backside of the 41-foot oil pattern we have here in Long Island, which we'll explain coming up soon.
Now that one shreds the rack, and watch this reaction. Oh yeah, it's game on.
Road to the Denny's World Championship. Top 4 get to the round of Super 16. It's critical because you can have 31 games less than your competitors to bowl during the week when you get into that top. That's why it's so critical, and Chris Barnes told us last night it is right now his #1 goal. Round of Super 16 in Ypsilanti at the Eastern Michigan University campus, second to the last event of our season this year. He knew it was, or hoped for it to be anyway. It was high. 6, 7, 10.
On this line, Chris has to make sure he doesn't touch the finger holes too much, or it's going to do that. And that's exactly what that shot looked like would have happened. Catch a little bit too much of it at the bottom of the swing. Ball hooks early, goes right through the face.
Split number so far. Match play only. Round of 32 on. West Babylon looking to kick it across the deck to the 7th, Ken I. When we return, we'll see how our bowlers, the 4th finalists, will deal with this oil pattern. 41 feet here in West Babylon. And much more about the Player of the Year race. Tommy Jones believes he's in there along with Chris Barnes, Patrick Allen, and others. It's all coming up. From Long Island, the PBA Cambridge Credit Classic on ESPN is brought to you by Dexter, the #1 bowling shoe in the world. What's your size? Education for financial wellness brought to you by Cambridge Credit Counseling Corp. By Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. Try one of Denny's new Hearty Scrambles, the Meat Lovers or the Heartland Scramble. Each just $4.99. Denny's, we're cooking now. Welcome back, everyone. The second straight year the PBA has been to this bowling center on the island. Last season, Patrick Healy Jr. won the first of his 2 titles on the year over Ryan Schaefer, 235 to 214. That was very good bowling, but nothing would match the excitement and drama of last week at the U.S. Open. First memorializing the late, great Dick Weber, and then the roll-off between Mika Koivu, Patrick Allen, and then Chris Barnes. An unbelievable finish with Patrick Allen. Puts himself right square in the middle of the Player of the Year race, which seems to get more and more interesting.
Does with each week. The person that has a stranglehold on that honor, though, right now is Patrick Allen. Patrick Allen, back-to-back wins in 2 second-place finishes in majors, puts him at the top of the heap. But Chris Barnes and Tommy Jones can get rich this week with a win.
41 feet is the Scorpion oil pad in there for Randy. And we know Patrick Girard, our young bowler, second show of his career, second time on the same pattern he's made it.
Scorpion pad, and let's take a look.
All right.
41 feet, which means the players got about 19 feet of back end. And you know what? This week was really unique because the players started early on from out, a la Chris Barnes today. But when the lanes broke down, they took a giant step to the left, which is where Tommy Jones is playing, and they throw that big inside line. So, multiple angles this week.
For 300 games this week, Randy, including Tommy Jones. And Tony Reyes in the round of 8. Reyes threw that 300 to wrap up his match with Patrick Healy Jr. He was trying to make another show here in the island after winning here last year, as we mentioned. Jones looks for the turkey here. 6th frame. Trying to go up to 24 pins with a strike. Does just that. Don't forget the world's top bowlers hit the lanes Sunday afternoon. ESPN's coverage of PBA bowling rolls on a week from today, 12:30 Eastern. The finals of the Baby Ruth Real Deal Classic, the PBA Tour on ESPN. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Last year, Steve Jarris won in Indy over Dave Yachmont in the finals, Randy. As we'll address later in the broadcast, Steve Jarris, among some others, big surprises who could be out of that top 64, the exempt field, and may have to go to tour trials. Guy won 3 times last year. Pretty amazing. Speaking of 3, Tommy Jones.
That's right. 1 for me, not for him.
Goes for a 3rd career title and has some talking to do to the pins.
And not in the giving mood. All for me and none for him. Well, you know what? You don't win tournaments out on the PBA Tour without getting a couple of breaks. Obviously, you have to throw great shots, but every now and then, we're all human. Pinch it just a little bit, you get it in, you trip the 4-7-10 out for a 4-bagger to take a commanding 34-pin lead.
So far right is Barnes, keeping with that line.
I paid full price. He gets a double. Now ring 10. Good.
Yep, that's the sport of bowling. Great shot there by Chris Barnes. Massive ring in 10.
Trying to become the 30th in PBA Tour history to win back-to-back tour titles. 2nd of this season. Patrick Allen has done it twice this year already. Tour exemptions, bottom of your screen here. Danny Wiseman all the way through to 07 because of his win at the Masters this year. Some other standard tour stop winners like Tommy Jones, who's won in Japan and Denver. Mika Tour win to begin the 2nd half of our season. Patrick Allen, 2 titles.
Big move on the left lane, Dave.
Boy, did he. Look at the difference, folks. He almost had a 7-10 and instead gets breaks on both pins, and they're both down into the pin.
It looked like the messenger took out the 7 and the 10. Check out the head pin. Wow. That's a really fast messenger.
How big a move was that? That was dramatic.
About 15 boards left, looked like. Big move. And right now, Chris Barnes maybe second guessing his choice on how he played the lanes today.
Tommy Jones, folks, has been brilliant on TV last 2 years. 8-1 record. So we're not surprised he goes for the 5-bagger here and leaves a 4-pin. To break the streak at 4. First career title. The former Rookie of the Year came in Japan this season. Before that, had gone 69 events without a victory. What a dramatic turnaround for Tommy Jones. Now he's thinking about Player of the Year with a potential 3rd win of the season. Tour exemptions, 16 event champions, the major champions. Point list as well.
Mike Wolf, by virtue of his win and show, what Patrick Girard has done. And take a look at the guys going the other way. It's perplexing to even try to fathom what's happened with Steve Jarris, Lonnie Wallachek, and Pete Weber.
He liked that right off his hand to finish the point on Steve Jarris. Spoke with him yesterday or last week in the hotel after the U.S. Open, and he said maybe it's the oil type this year that's really thrown him off.
Let's change. It's a different type of oil that they're using. But, you know, as good as Steve Jarris and Lonnie and Pete Weber, as good as they are, it's just hard to believe that a change in oil would affect them that much. But obviously it has, because their ball reactions aren't what they used to be.
A double foundation frame strike and a big one for Barnes. 23-pin deficit.
This is at the start of the game. You see where Chris is playing. Like I said, right around the 3rd board. This is his last shot. Shot this big giant move left.
Huge change in strategy. And we talked to Chris last night about what is he more proud of, being so technically sound in his game or being more versatile. He said, I want to be known as a versatile bowler who can win in all conditions. Much more than the technical aspect, which is critical, but not as important in his mind.
And he is. I mean, he's a technician. This guy studies players. He has a game plan each and every week.
This adjustment. Surprised to see the 2-pin up.
This ball just never grips the lane. Comes in light, loses the 2-pin, and this match is all but over.
Chris is indeed done. We can still talk about his incredible win last week. Now, Randy, in your opinion, will there still be people asking questions about whether or not Chris can come through on TV? He won the big match last week, took home his first ever major title, and broke that long losing streak on TV.
Well, I think only the people that really don't understand or know a whole lot about bowling. I mean, if there's any question in anybody's mind as to whether or not Chris Barnes is the winner, then they just don't know the sport of bowling. Period.
Tommy Jones on these 3 pins. Next up, Patrick Girard from Quebec, Canada. Tony Reyes from Northern California. Head-to-head. Each bidding for his first career PBA title. Jones has more than 3. He'll take all 10 down and clinch the semifinal match. 9-1 on TV now over the past 2 years for Tommy Jones, who's undefeated this season on television. Japan Cup, Denver, and now today it's quite a streak.
Yeah, it's like 2003 Japan Cup, 2004 Japan Cup he won. His win in Denver earlier this year, or this season rather.
And he stays hot, just like the round of 8 blitzing.
Hi, honey. Hi, James. Hi, Andrew. See you guys soon.
Of Danny Wiseman. A message to his wife, Kristen, back home. Who sees her husband move to 5-0 on TV this year.
Not very nice.
Wow. You see the 6 trip and the 10 out like that? That's a really good sign, Dave.
258, 212. An easy win for Tommy Jones. He wins semifinal number 1 on Long Island. The semifinals of the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge begin today. Watch 2 of the best in action. Parker Ball III and Brian Voss when we come back.
They're my sisters. They are. What?
Have a bad poker face? Then PartyPoker.net is for you, because you can learn to play poker for free with thousands of real players. It's fun and as easy as checking your email. PartyPoker.net. Log on right now.
Thanks to 10 strikes, Tommy Jones a 258-212 win over Chris Barnes. Patrick Girard, Tony Reyes, the next semifinal. Speaking of semis, we have reached the semifinals of the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge. Parker Bone III takes on Brian Voss for a trip to the final and a shot at the $20,000 winner's share.
With 23 PBA titles, including a PBA National Championship, he's a former PBA Player of the Year, a member of our PBA Hall of Fame. From Alpharetta, Georgia, give it up for Brian Voss.
Oh, yeah. That's right. 2 balls. Parker's good, but the 2 balls is going to come down to 2, I'm telling you.
He's a member of our PBA Hall of Fame. He's bowled 300 on TV. He's a 2-time PBA Player of the Year. He's done it all, ladies and gentlemen. From Jackson, New Jersey, Parker Bone III.
Let's have a good one. Make it great for everybody. Somebody wins, it's 3-2. No, it's going. All right, here we go. Okay, talk to it now. Bite, 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 bite. Oh. Yes, well, here it comes. You guys are working.
That's Parker Bone III.
Oh, boy.
No, we'll start the way we do every time. It works perfect so far. It's got me through a couple of rounds, and I think it's going to get me through another round or 2.
Where are they all at? What are we doing, Parker?
We got to dig out a couple of chairs here.
Sounds like the chair time to me.
Oh, man, I forgot to practice my
Okay,
shot.
let's see here. We're going to try 3.
I didn't practice my strike ball.
This is my specialty shot, folks.
Oh, boy.
Brian, you ready for this, buddy? Let's see if we can't pull this one off. Now, everybody, see, in a polite way, I would really like to put 3 people on these chairs. Hold on one second. I can't quite do that today because that chair is plastic. And if I happen to blunder, which I'm not going to, but if I happen to hit that leg, unfortunately, it's probably going to wrap around, go under the chair, and therefore you will be laying belly up. That wouldn't be a good thing. All right, Brian. One ball down the lane, through the 3 chairs, nothing but 10 pins down at the other end.
All right, Parker Bone III, we shall see. Starts off with his signature shot. A strike through 3 chairs. We've seen it before. Has yet to miss in our competition. Does it again. Perfect.
Voss is not going to be happy about that. The key to this shot is to imagine the chairs are not there, which is easier said than done.
Oh, man.
Not for Parker, though.
All right, where do I stand when I play in 10? Okay. 10 means you got to look at 8 for you folks out there in Wonderland. And I can't go too far to the right. Okay, so I'm going to go a little straighter. All right.
Pressure's on Brian Voss. No.
That doesn't count because it was nowhere close to clean.
I can't hit the chair. Oh, right there.
So Parker's up 1-0. We'll try to extend his lead by hitting a piece of tape down lane and throw a strike, and he's got it.
Simple for Mr. Accuracy.
Okay, got to hit 9.
Brian Voss must hit the tape and throw a strike to match. Not an easy shot.
But did he hit the tape?
Let's look at the line. I know, I missed by this much. Oh boy, down 2-0. 2-0.
That was awfully close, but Parker Bone III does in fact lead 2 strikes to none over Brian Voss. We'll see if Brian Voss can come back when we conclude the Miller High Life PBA Skills semifinal later in our show. And we look forward to that on the road with the PBA Tour. We're going to Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis, the Pro-Am Saturday, March 5th. Sign up for tickets, PBA.com at Woodland Bowl. Then Grand Rapids Spectrum Lanes. You see the 3 different Pro-Am sites on Saturday, March 19th. www.pba.com is the place to get tickets and more information about those Pro-Ams. Semifinal number 2 approaches from the island. Patrick Girard from Quebec goes for his first ever title. Same for Tony Reyes from the Bay Area, trying to represent Northern California.
The more you trust, Bear.
Thanks to a 258-212 win over Chris Barnes. Tommy Jones now 1-1 lifetime on TV against Chris Barnes. Our next match, Tony Reyes, Patrick Girard, the 2 finalists, 2 semifinalists, joined now by Randy.
Thanks, Dave. Both Tony and Patrick have already made shows this season. In fact, they both said they learned a great deal from that experience. So, Patrick, I'll start with you. Your first ever TV show in Dallas, what did you gain from that?
Just take deep breaths. Don't try to hide my emotion. And, you know, I'm still nervous, but I'm still going to have fun today, so just try it goes good.
Great. Good luck, Patrick. Tony Reyes, you made the show about 3 weeks ago in Atlanta.
Yep.
What did you gain from that you can apply today?
I think I'm going to try to take everything a little bit slower. I think everything was such fast pace, and it was a while. But this time around, I kind of used that experience and get after number 1.
Great, Tony. Good luck. Dave Ryan, the winner of this match will go on to bowl for their first ever title.
Not possibly could have the first career championship for either Reyes or Girard. What a hot streak it's been for Tony Reyes. Will break down his incredible leap in the PBA rankings. Not far from Quebec City. Patrick Girard comes to us. Second TV appearance and a perfect start for Patrick Girard. Near his hometown of Jonquière, Quebec. Not much English spoken. Tony Reyes just a few minutes south of San Francisco. 6th year on tour, has been jetting up the points list since Birmingham, Alabama a few weeks back, finished 58th. Since has been 7th or better in the last 4, including the U.S. Open last week. He's on TV here today. Messenger won't get to number 10. And Tony has that pin for a spare.
Tony in there with the big boys. Tony more of a traditional stroker. In-between player, doesn't go straight, doesn't hook it. Kind of in between, but can do a little bit of both. In there with the guys that really bang on it.
A little better start than last time.
Takes care of the 10 pin, leads us to the Baby Ruth real deal matchup.
Boy, and big advantages all across the board for Tony Reyes. Higher average by 7 pins. Obviously, that's going to translate into a higher strike percentage. And Tony Reyes has had great success on the island. Check out what he's done the last 3 years. And that year, 2002, where he finished tied for 17th, lost to me.
Aha! Had to get that in, didn't we, partner? All 10 down for Reyes, who told us last night, in addition to the numbers, winning so much, you're doing well. Just feels very comfortable on Long Island.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been real comfortable the last 4 weeks, too. Throwing a lot of strikes that look like that.
4th in Atlanta, 7th in Akron, 7th at the U.S. Open, now a TV show for Tony Reyes. Red hot, Patrick Girard.
Get back.
Some help on the 10 for Girard.
Check this out. This is a bit intimidating here. That was a really fast messenger. Just slaps the head pin silly.
Double start for him. 12-5 match play record here on Long Island. Got by Mike Edwards. 7 games, round of 8, a fellow tour trial. Success story. Both going through the tour trials to get to exempt status, and a 10-pin stands for Patrick.
Fair again.
Yeah. Game 5 against Mike Edwards, he needed a hit. The 10th to win, he goes right through the nose and struck. That was a huge break and a turning point in that match.
Notice that Patrick's using the Motel 6 spare ball. I'd like to welcome aboard Motel 6 as our official lodging partner of the PBA Tour. 10-pin takes care of that. Of all the players on the tour trials, Randy, you participated in them. 8 total made it, including Patrick Girard. 7 shows between those guys. 1 title. That from Mike Wolf in Medford. Wolf and Girard made 2 shows each. Interesting to track how the bowlers have done after tour trials last year. Reyes. Blitzes. 10 pins down. 12-5 match play record. Through a 300 game, that clinching game 6 against Patrick Healy Jr. In his wins, a 261.75 average. Had the front 8 in game 5 of that Healy Jr. match before his 300 game in game 6 to help clinch it. So he was red hot. We saw the comeback he made as well. Goes for the turkey here. 4.
This ball looks pretty good. Tony thought it was pretty good, and right at the last second, it bites up and goes high and leaves 4-pin. Tony operating on 2 bum knees and a bad ankle. Needs to take it easy.
Wasn't so sure, was he?
A little bouncy.
Yeah. But Tony will take it.
Boom.
Whoa.
It's all right. Good straight arm swing. Got it going in the right direction.
Nice follow through. Sprained ankle. You mentioned the injuries this week. Coming into the bowling center with all his gear. Just lost track of his footing for a moment. Has tendonitis in both knees as Girard has some trouble with a split.
Boy, he just lost balance at the foul line.
That was fast. He grabbed it.
He gets fast, he grabs it, and when Patrick Girard grabs it, like all power players, it's going to go left.
Cannot convert. Takes care of the 4-7, but the 6 stands for Girard and an open frame for him.
Check this out, old school versus new school. Tony Reyes on the left, the stroker. Look what his hand does. See how he cups it in the upswing. Patrick Girard, the big power player, straight right here. Wow. Woo! What does that mean? Well, okay, the stroker is here. This is Tony Reyes' hand. It looks more like a paw, but look at the calluses on that finger. Look at Patrick Girard's hand, clean. When you ask Patrick Girard what he does at the bottom of the swing or what he feels, he says he feels nothing. You want to know why Tony Reyes' hand looks like hamburger meat? How about 146 games, not counting practice, over the last 4 weeks?
Bowlers were very busy last week's format at the U.S. Open.
Little break.
And Tony had a great finish in New Jersey. More games of qualifying, more practice, a big pro-am. Definitely a cumulative effect.
Looked like he just missed that a little bit at the bottom.
Takes care of his mark.
Come on, good shot right here. Come on. Set up here. Second half.
Sunday night, ESPN's coverage of the NBA continues. The Battle of Florida is the most dangerous scoring duo in the league. Shaquille O'Neal and Dwayne Wade lead the Miami Heat against Grant Hill, Steve Francis, and the Orlando Magic. Heat Magic also available in high definition on ESPN HD. 101.98, Dwayne Wade at 25 in last night's game. And the rematch takes place this evening on ESPN. NBA rivalry presented by Reebok on ESPN starts it off 7:30 Eastern tonight. Frame Tony Reyes. 10 down to the pit for Tony. And a 13-pin lead for him.
All right.
A special commissioner's exemption this week. The commissioner's exemption this week was PBA Hall of Famer Johnny Petraglia, whose 14 PBA titles include the 1978 Long Island Open. He bowled 14 games of qualifying Thursday, though he finished 60th. He said he sees a renaissance of sorts on tour.
It was extremely exciting in the beginning, and it was for the entire 60s and 70s. And then in the mid-80s, it started to get a little bit dull, and now the new owners of the PBA have brought a rebirth, and it's like it used to be.
On the next tilt, an unlikely recruit pits father against son.
From West Babylon, New York, the PBA Cambridge Credit Classic on ESPN is brought to you by Odor Readers with unique Zorbatex technology. Destroys foot odor and absorbs sweat on contact. By Geico, you too could save 15% or more on car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Uniroyal Tires, the official tire of the PBA Tour. Uniroyal Tires trusted by American families since 1892. And we need a couple more months to enjoy Jones Beach State Park, not far from where we are on Long Island. Tony Reyes, a 13-pin lead on Patrick Girard to see who has the right to play Tommy Jones in the final. Speaking of Girard, he proves that when it comes to releases, it takes all kinds. Randy explains in this week's Dexter Approach.
Yeah, Patrick Girard's got a great one, too. Watch this. Kind of drops it into the swing a la Chris Barnes. And you can tell just by the way his wrist cocks at the top, he's got a very loose and relaxed hand. But this is the key for Patrick Girard. If he can stick the landing like that, he'll make great shots.
See a look there at Patrick's glasses. As we told you the story in Dallas a few weeks ago, he made his first ever TV show. There's a story behind them. The frames are actually sunglass frames that he picked out of a little crane machine. You put a couple bucks in, casino in Reno, Nevada. Well, he told us you can see how the glasses just don't fit in the frames, folks, right? It's clear there. Great look from our crew. Crossing over, almost looking for a Brooklyn strike and a 6-10 up Anyway, Patrick told us because he made his second show that those frames had used up their good luck. He'd make a change, but didn't have time last night. So he's got the lucky frames on again today.
They look like goggles.
Yeah. It's an interesting look.
Tell you what, though, he is one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet. And he just needs to get some maturity on the lanes under the TV lights, and he'll be fine. Problem is getting him there. He's been struggling throughout some of the qualifying and certain patterns that he just doesn't bowl well on. He just needs more experience.
Start of the week, 55th in tour points. Now it's to 43rd thanks to his good run here on the road to the PBA Denny's World Championship in Michigan. Chris Barnes, as we talked about, wants to be in that round of Super 16. Girard, if he's on the other side of the cut line.
Not at all, buddy.
And has to go through tour trials, doesn't make it. Tells us he'll take a couple of years off, learn the game more. Remember, he's only 21. He's the youngest bowler on our PBA tour. Cut line's at 39, so right now he's on the outside looking in.
Yeah, and it's at 39 because Pete Weber has full exemption for another 2 seasons, and he's currently outside of the top 40.
Ryan Smith, who's won a major championship. Lonnie Walczek, Steve Jarrett, we talked about, won 3 times last year. Tim Chris, who assists us in our production truck week in and week out. Unfortunately for those gentlemen, could be in trouble and have to face tour trials. Tony Reyes won't have to with his incredible run. He's up to 17th in the tour rankings this week and trying to get his first win for a clean exemption for next year.
Yeah, and he's done it all in the last 4 weeks, throwing shots like this on 4 completely different patterns. We saw the U.S. Open pattern last week, which was brutal. Tony finished 7th. Jackson Hewitt, he finished 6th. Atlanta, 4th when he made the show. And the way he's going right now, he's going to move on to the title match unless Patrick Girard can find a way to start striking.
Goes for the turkey, a 34-pin lead. 10-pin.
See, and we didn't see Tommy Jones do a whole lot of that in his match. Watch this. 2nd pin to your right, the 6th pin. Watch the way it behaves here. Just kind of lays there flat. That's the amount of power the bowling ball is hitting the pins with when it enters the pocket. Tommy Jones has a lot of that. In fact, I don't know of too many players on the tour that can get the ball around the corner as well as Tommy Jones.
Takes care of the 10-pin. 23-pin lead for Reyes as things stand as Girard works on a spare 8 frame. Other finishers, this from match play. A round of 32 on. Mike Edwards, who ran away and hit at tour trials last year, has only made 1 show this year, though, in Wichita. Well, Michaels, Haugen Jr. and Fagan there.
How can I get a strike like that?
Well, he made a good adjustment. He moved further in. Almost leaves a pocket 7-10 or a blowout 7-10. In any event, it's not a strike, and that's what he needs. Right now, Tony Reyes going at a 217 pace. The best Patrick Girard can do now, 213.
Keep in mind, guys, we're talking about Patrick Girard, the last player among the 58 to begin this year an exempt tour to win a match. It took him a long time. The Orange County Classic just before Christmas in December. And that tournament finally got a win over Steve Jarrett. 22nd was his best finish up until his TV show in Dallas and now here on the island. So this is an up-and-coming young star.
So bad right now.
Remember what we talked about in the Dexter? Watch him pull up and out of this shot. Almost looked like he slipped.
Another spare, but he needs strikes. Got his foundation frame. Reyes a 25-pin lead.
That just came off right here.
Jessica watching back home. Drove Tony from event to event when he was a kid. She was at the show in person, flew from Northern California to Atlanta for that one. Dad Tony Sr., brother Albert, sister Norma, all watching back home today. some help on number 5.
Love it. Little New York love right there.
A little New York love is right.
I'll take that.
Now he needs just 8.
I'll take that. You need those to win out here. Come on, good shot right here.
Check out caving in the bucket. Tony Reyes sweating like he stole something, and he just did right there in the 9th frame.
Tony really reacted that way in Atlanta, too, the TV lights. It was hot there for him, too.
Yeah!
And he takes care
One more, buddy.
of Patrick Girard.
One more time. One more game.
One more game is right, but it's going to be against the red-hot Tommy Jones, who seems to have mastered this oil pattern and will be
over yet.
a very difficult challenge for Tony in the finals. Should be interesting.
And I don't want to jinx anybody or make any predictions, but I think that Tony Reyes has to be almost perfect with his execution the next game to beat Tommy Jones on what Tommy Jones turns out to be his favorite pattern. Reyes has got his work cut out for him.
Tony Reyes, folks, has gone 122 events and counting without a title. 4th longest drought active on the PBA Tour. Brian Leclerc, 328. Richie Wolf at 201. Michael Haugen Jr. at 153.
All right. One more.
Paul Fleming at 113.
Great bonus.
Right behind Tony.
You keep up going good. You're going to be there next year, okay? Come on.
Maybe this is the day for Tony Reyes as he urges Patrick Girard toward exempt status for next season.
Hey, Mom, hey, Dad. How's everyone back in Cali?
Tony, right now everyone's doing just great in California. And Tony and Patrick, among others, will be hitting the lane Sunday afternoon next week as we continue our coverage of the PBA Tour Finals of the Baby Ruth Real Deal Classic. The PBA Tour on ESPN next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Monsieur Girard will finish out our last couple of shots here on the island, creating some great memories here in West Babylon. That's the case with Tony Reyes, and using the spare ball, showing off to the crowd. Girard blitzes 10 down into the pin. Who can forget our Long Island experience of 2002? The 2002 Cambridge Credit Classic saw the epitome of fire under pressure. A title match featuring Norm Duke and Dave Traber. After Duke struck in the last 6 shots, Traber was forced to answer and did, striking out of the 10th to send the match into a sudden death roll-off. It took 3 frames in the roll-off, but Traber's final 9 could not hold up to Duke's strike. The drama guaranteed that Norm Duke would never forget his 20th career PBA Tour title.
Last year,
a free TV and 15% off regular digital cable rates. Call 1-877-RR-WORK4.
Tony Reyes is getting set to take on Tommy Jones in the final, the PBA Cambridge Credit Classic. We're looking forward to that. Sunday night, ESPN's coverage of the NBA continues. Battle of Florida is the most dangerous scoring duo in the league. Shaquille O'Neal and Dwayne Wade lead the Miami Heat against Grant Hill, Steve Francis, and the Orlando Magic. Heat Magic also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today. As you saw earlier, Parker Bone III had a 2-0 lead over Brian Voss in the semifinal of the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge. Who will advance to the finals? Let's find out.
Okay. Yes, 7 pin. I got confidence in you this time.
So Parker's 1 strike from a trip to the finals.
That looks good.
Okay. That'll be the 10 pin for me.
That would be a 10 pin for you.
Now or never. I got 20,000 reasons to try and make this. Here we go.
Brian Voss referring to the $20,000 winner's prize.
Quite an incentive.
Come on. Still alive, baby. Still alive.
Now Parker Bone III looks to close out BV by making the big four with 2 balls. Can he do it?
Tell you the truth, Brian, I'd like nothing better than for all 4 of these pins to fall.
And Brian Voss would like nothing better than to have one of them stay up.
Bone's already up 2-0.
Oh, no.
That looks good. Oh, 4 down.
You can't throw it any better than that. The pressure squarely on Brian Voss.
Oh, no. Nice shot. Nice shot. Nice shot.
So now it's up to Brian Voss. If he cannot convert, Parker Bone III moves on to the final. Got to knock all 4 down.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was terrible. Greenhouse. See ya.
Parker Bone III.
With a 3 strikes to none sweep, Parker Bone III is in the final. Will he face Chris Barnes or Brian Kretzer? Find out next week. Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge full bracket now. The semis, Kretzer, Barnes, Bone III, and BV. That means Parker is through to the final. Last week, absolutely unforgettable moments in New Jersey. Last week at the U.S. Open, number 2 seed Patrick Allen took on Mika Koivuniemi. The Big Finn needed just an 8 count in his fill ball in the 10th to advance, but came up 1 pin short, sending the match to a sudden death roll-off. On the second ball, in that roll-off, Allen picked up a 9 count, while Major Mika came up short again with just 8 pins.
It's a new season with a different outcome, brother. Yeah! Yeah! What do you think about that?
Chris Barnes and Allen in the finals, and Barnes dominated early. But an open in the 8th combined with Allen's strike and a spare in the 10th put PA back in the match. Barnes' early lead proved too much, however, and his conversion of the 4-pin.
Yes! 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 Yes!
On his final shot, gave him a 213 to 212 win in the 62nd U.S. Open in New Jersey.
Jackson Hewitt. Get every deduction you deserve.
Pete Weber, PBA Hall of Famer, and a major
bobblehead. Get a free PDW bobblehead and save $10 on tax preparation at jacksonhewitt.com/PDW. Because you can never get enough PDW.
First ever head-to-head matchup on TV. Tommy Jones, Tony Reyes, and it's for a championship of the PBA Cambridge Credit Classic. Randy, let's check out the Geico Direct Championship recap.
You got it, Dave. Earlier in semifinal number 1, it was Tommy Jones defeating Chris Barnes by the score of 258 to 212. Tommy looking for a hat trick. Then in semi number 2, it was Tony Reyes defeating Patrick Girard by the score of 237-202. Tony slow rolling his way to the title match.
All right, ready now with our finals. Tommy, we'll start with you. Just an incredible look. 10 strikes in your semifinal win to begin this match and to begin your show. Can you continue that here in the final?
Well, I hope so. Against Danny Wiseman the other night, I played them pretty straight, but I've had a look hooking it all week, and today they seem to be better hooking it, so I'm going to go out there, and Tony and I are going to have a great match, and whoever bowls the best is going to win.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Tony Reyes, 122 events, still no tour championship. 4th longest drought on the PBA Tour. Not to put too many negatives in your head here. Can it end today?
No, not at all. I'm going to go out there and just have a good time and try to win number 1. I want to get exempt by winning, not by points. So I'm going to go out there and try to get some hardwood for home.
He's positive, Randy. Ready to go, our final today.
Keys to victory are simple. For Tommy Jones, he throws his best shots when he stays down at the foul line. He needs to trust his instincts. For Tony Reyes, simple. Believe it's his time, trust his game, and make great quality shots. you're wondering why Tony Reyes is in the title match, well, he told us that he listened to the Grateful Dead last night, and he feels cleansed.
He'll take it gladly. Woo. Starting off our final in style.
Number one here. Take advantage of that one.
Nice little break to start the match for Tony Reyes, tripping the 4.
Shot here.
How do we sound? How do we sound?
Jones stays hot, as he said he could. Randy, leading us to the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup for our final.
And a big advantage in average, and quite frankly, a big advantage in the way they're playing the lanes. Tommy Jones, he's got his meat and potatoes in front of him. Tony Reyes has to manufacture something. And look what Tommy did in his first semifinal match. He threw 10 out of 12 for 258.
He has been absolutely red hot. As we told you, that incredible run against Wiseman, round of 8 here on the island. And he stayed red hot. As you may have noticed, today's finalists are wearing a commemorative patch to honor the late Dick Weber. The same patch is available for purchase on PBA.com at a cost of $10. Proceeds from the sale of the patch will benefit the Weber family's preferred charity, International Bowling Museum and Hall of Fame. The patch is only available until April 10th. Be sure to head to PBA.com today.
Oh, wow.
10-pin stands for Reyes.
I'll take it away. Shot.
Boy, he really rolled that one nicely. Only to leave a ringing 10 and fall behind early on.
Takes care of the 10-pin, which will have to be taken care of in the gutter. Bob Cassis, the AMF district manager, helping our entire staff, the ESPN crew. As usual, a great job, as we mentioned, hosting PBA Tour event, 2nd straight year. Tony's down 10. 3rd frame.
Heel. Yeah.
Shreds the rack.
Got a hook.
Matt Miller, our lane maintenance supervisor, clearing dead wood for the deadhead Tony Reyes.
Very nice.
This guy, though, before I could do it.
Did you ever tour the dead?
Dead. Watch it, Dave. Do I look that old? Don't answer that.
Match play this week. Unbelievable numbers for Jones. Wow, and he just keeps on trucking. While we're on the theme, that's the last of it, I promise, folks.
Come on, one more good one.
Tommy Jones right now looks like a great white shark that just smelt blood. He's got his favorite look, and he's executing perfectly.
He seemed subtly confident in meeting with him last night, but you can tell he had a very good game plan, and the roll continues as well without an open, obviously with incredible numbers he's posted. 281.75 average in that round of 8 blitzing of Danny Wiseman. It's been going for a while. He's had a great look. It's continued.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh, down she goes late.
For Randy. That was for Randy.
And dedicated to you. Tommy Jones will take all the help he can get. Who's been so brilliant Messenger takes out number 10. The final continues next.
We're going to make a count. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
What a start for Tommy Jones. Front four works on a perfect game against Tony Reyes in the finals of the PBA Cambridge Credit Classic. Randy, let's check out this week's Uniroyal Tire Rock and Roll.
And it's all about TJ, Tommy Jones. Watch him here as he's going to roll the 10. Come on now, how about a little help from your friends? Oh, yeah.
For Randy.
Not sure why that was for me, but I'll just go with it.
Take the dedication, why not?
Hey, thanks for the pop.
Chance to reduce the lead here to 20 pins. Ten pin. Wanted that one.
Shots. Just shots.
Tony, before the match, remembering his finals appearance.
God.
99 threw a gutter ball to begin that match against Tommy DeLuce Jr. As we say hello to Kurt Meyer, Cambridge Credit Counseling Corp General Manager. Kurt and his fine group been with us as a sponsor for several years now. Cambridge Credit Classic last year. Unforgettable. Speaking of 300 games. In Connecticut.
Mika Koivuniemi, the Big Fin. Some great people from Cambridge.
On TV.
Gordon Oliver, Chris Vialli. Chris Vialli actually bowled the qualifier this week. Tony finally gets the 6 to cooperate as he takes the 10 out. Still well behind. Needs to start stringing, and quite honestly, the difference in today, not just this match, is the fact that Tommy Jones has not yet left the 10 pin.
Looks for the front five. Can he keep it perfect in the finals? Yes! Now it's the 4 pin with a late trip.
Both guys are playing the same part of the lane at the arrows. Check it out. Right. Tony Reyes about 21 or 2. Here comes TJ. Just a board left of that, but the big difference is the break point down the lane. Tommy Jones, the higher ref player, can afford to get it a little further right and have the ball return.
I'm not sure anyone can overcome Tommy Jones right now. Randy, 9 straight strikes dating back to his last game. First semifinal we saw. Scorching hot. 10 in a row. Over 2 games. The front 6 in this, the final. He's halfway home to a 300 game.
Kind of lucky. And as good as Tommy Jones's carry's been, as good as his look's been, as good as he's throwing it, 300 doesn't seem like a reach for him. Halfway there. Tony Reyes right now needs to get off the schneid and throw his first double.
Tony trying to join Tommy Jones, Jason Hurt, Mike Wolf, who this year have all won their first career titles on tour. Former star at San Jose State. And he told us in the interview, he does not want to wait for the points to get him exempt next year, wants to earn it. Well, now's the time, Tony. And that's the kind of shot he needs.
One more just to put
play his A game.
A little bit of pressure, or let Tommy Jones know that he's not going away. Help his cause out. 3-bagger. Strike here in the 7th.
Shot here.
Can reduce the lead to 30 pins. But Jones with a front 6 seems insurmountable at the moment. Will it change?
Yeah. All right.
60 feet to success for Reyes. Gets his turkey. 3 in a row, frames 5 through 7 now. Can Jones stay hot?
Great execution here. Look at him stay on balance. High balls it going straight through the 1-3. 5 more of those. And let's see what happens.
Jones has just been completely unbeatable. The numbers are incredible. And they continue. 5 more to go, and he's got a 300 game, which will be only the 17th on TV in PBA Tour history.
If you're just tuning in and wondering why Tommy Jones is doing what he's doing, keep in mind that he averaged 281 in the round of 8 last night against Danny Wiseman.
Look at the numbers on the bottom, folks. 43 of 47. So now you know the look he's had. The oil pattern matches his game perfectly. Told us last night he's learned so much about himself. He is totally different on TV than he was in his first appearances a couple years back. Much more mature, decision maker. And now he wants the fans to join him as he gets closer to a 300 game. He's got the front 8 against Tony Reyes.
Last perfect game on television, Mika Koivuniemi, Cambridge Credit Classic, Windsor Locks, Connecticut, 0-3.
Before that, it was Norm Duke against Walter A. Williams Jr. in Tacoma, January of 2003. Oh, he wanted that 7-pin. Hoping the ball would wheel back to the pocket. Not quite.
Well, unfortunately for Tony Reyes, it's all but over. Right now, Tommy Jones trying to shoot 300.
Tommy Jones told us last night, and as we mentioned in the interview with him to begin our broadcast, Randy, that no question Patrick Allen should be the player of the year. He's, in his mind, the front runner with the 2 titles. The second in 2 majors. We'll see how Patrick Allen does coming up in Indianapolis. PBA Baby Ruth Real Deal Classic, Sunday, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 on the West Coast. As the PBA Tour rolls on. After today, just 4 more events to go in our season. Hard to believe how quickly it's gone by. Tony's certainly going to be exempt next year with his great run. Takes down 10 there, but the finish on the Jones point. This could be his 3rd victory of the season. Tommy's got to think himself right up there with Chris Barnes and PA for Player of the Year.
Well, we're going to give Tommy the win today, but it's still going to come down to the last 2 majors of the season.
Two games for Jones so far, 18 of 20 strikes, 12 in a row. How about the front 9, Tommy? Wow. 10-pin. No, can you believe it?
First 10-pin of the day. Well, that looked awfully good. Of course, all the ring and 10s look good. If anything, this ball looked like it was just a pinch faster. Wow. Fast. Ring and 10. 1 pin. Tommy Jones is going to win his 3rd tournament of the season.
Wow. What a year for Tommy Jones. Needed 1, he'll get 9. And he'll get a victory. He clinches the Cambridge Credit Classic from Long Island, his 3rd tour victory of this season. And stays undefeated on TV this year. 3 events, Japan Cup, Denver, and now here on the island. No losses on television.
And no gimmies either. He's earned it.
You can still make noise. This one's for fun.
And now he'll enjoy the moment and urge the fans to do so as well.
Hey, man, UPA. All right, let's see here. Bull good. Hey, man. Good ball. All right, good ball. Dinner next week. Congratulations.
I win.
quick note home to his wife, Kristen. And Tony says, yes, you and Patrick Allen, PA, should vie for Player of the Year. Tough to argue there. But those two are the front runners. Tommy surpassing Patrick Allen with his 3rd win of the season. PA still has the 2.
You guys are the good luck charm. You guys got to keep going to the house. Tony.
Fantastic week. Wraps up for Tony Reyes. He'll take a 2nd place finish here.
Hey, thanks. You guys are great.
But the man of the moment, Tommy Jones, 266, 217. 3rd title of the season for TJ.
3 years for none, 3-1.
PBA Cambridge Credit Classic on ESPN is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly, this is the High Life. Education for financial wellness brought to you by Cambridge Credit Counseling Corp. By Bear, the more you know, the more you trust Bear. Try one of Denny's new Hearty Scrambles. The meat lovers or the Heartland Scramble, each just $4.99. Denny's, we're cooking now. Just moments from New York City. A man of the moment without question, Tommy Jones. A dominant win over Tony Reyes. You stayed hot, as we talked about heading into that final match. Was your look just insurmountable all week?
Well, I mean, I got a couple great breaks against Tony. That match could have gone the other way if he doesn't leave those 2 ring 10s early. But, you know, with these fans here on Long Island behind you, I mean, how can you not try?
That's a good answer. 3rd win now. You talked about Patrick Allen being in the driver's seat for Player of the Year, but you have to be right there. Does this give you confidence you might win that award?
We'll see what happens the rest of the year. There's 2 majors coming up. Those 2 tournaments are they're really gonna tell who was gonna win Player of the Year. But it's a tight race, and P is a great bowler, and I'm sure he's gonna be there with some thunder the last couple weeks.
Last question quickly. How badly did you want a 300 game here in the final?
Well, I don't know if I would have actually been able to walk to the foul line. I was already starting to shake real bad, but you know, it would have been awesome to end it that way.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Dave.
Tommy Jones, a winner here today on Long Island. Be sure to join us next Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time, the PBA Baby Ruth Real Deal Classic from Indianapolis. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Coming up next, images in black and white on ESPN. Now for the entire crew, my partner, Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long and congrats to Tommy Jones.